everybody. Good morning. Welcome to another round of coffee and questions. Hopefully you got your coffee. And what are we going to talk about? This Pittsburgh rotary coaxial cable stripper. Is it any good? Well, the quick answer is no, not really. But let's talk about why it's not good. And we'll talk about a couple of the others, and then I'll give you a suggestion on something that I bought that works perfectly fine. But to start off with, this does not cut very accurately, and it doesn't cut to the right depth like it's supposed to. So that's kind of like the first flaw in it, and some people have struggled through that. Part of the reason for that is those cutting blades are not secure, so they move around on you, which makes the accuracy in cutting, it just doesn't make, it makes it horrible, to make a long story short. Now, the one thing I can tell you about this, it's not meant for constant use. If you're going to use this a couple of times, you might be able to get away with, using it on a quickie little job of some sort. But, you got $7.97, less than 20%, it might make a good, throwaway item, but the cutting ability, the accuracy is just not there. But it's, I would tell you, save up your money and I'll show you a better quality one to buy. But I'm going to go through the other ones here in a second and give you a brief opinion on them, because out at the club, we bought them. And then I bought, the Kleins, and we'll talk about those at the end. And the Kleins outperformed all of these, easily, but you're going to pay more money for them. So let's keep moving on, and we'll talk about, the quirks on these little tools. Maybe the best way to describe this is the way that somebody put it, in one of the comments, that these are level 2 strippers. They're not level 3 strippers, where you have to make 3 cuts for specific dimensions, but they work okay if you don't mind some extra trimming and taking a little bit more time when it comes to the crimping. So it says it works really good with RG59 coax and F connectors. That might be true. I never used it to that degree. I could just tell you I added more money and I bought the Kleins. So they can, they're doable maybe, maybe not. It's up to you. Let's move on to the next set of cable splicers. Okay, let's take a look at this stripper. And so what's the downside of this stripper? That the blades break easy. In the first couple of times you use them, and it's kind of a cheaper plastic, cable stripper. And again, I would tell you, add more money, get yourself a better quality one. If you're going to use it more than just a handful of times, you might get away, like I said on the last one, $8, $7.99, less than 20% discount. You may get away with it for a handful of uses, but eventually this one will probably fail on you, because the metal that those blades are made out of, they just seem to break easy, and it just, at that point, it will make the tool useless. Okay, so we're taking a look here at the self-adjusting wire strippers. The problem with this is, okay, it doesn't work that well. The jaws on the tool that are intended to hold the wire in there, they don't hold it sufficiently, and what it does is the wire will slide around on you. So it's a nice looking tool, $10, less than 20%. You could give it a try if you wanted to, but it doesn't have the holding power that it should to strip the wire like it says. So the guy out at the club that we have, I'm pretty sure he's going to end up taking it back and buying something that's, well, either he'll get another one or he'll buy a better quality one. No, actually it is a big deal, because there's no reliability in stripping the wire. Sometimes it strips it, sometimes it just grabs the wire and pulls the wire through. So, I'm better off just using, a pair of lineman cutters, to be honest with you. I did put this in there for completion's sake. We didn't try to use this to strip, coax cable. But it is a wire stripper, and it was part of the line, so I decided to give this a quick review also. Let me show you what we bought instead, or what I bought instead, that has performed wonderfully for years, and I use it all of the time. Give me just a second. Okay, so this is my go-to right here. This is from Klein Tools Coax Installation Testing Kit. Now, I use this on my house as well as a couple other side jobs where I put quadra-shield cable in, and we got rid of the RG standard coax cable. And when I did, this performed beautifully. And the connectors, I bought additional connectors you'll see here on the bottom, and I'll leave you the links below, for this kit. So yeah, you're going to spend more money, definitely, but this thing just keeps performing. And I've had it, like I said, I've had it for years. I've used it on multiple little side jobs and stuff. It cuts very accurately, perfectly every time. And it has, in the picture above me, where you put your finger through, and there's the cable splicer, we're going to call it, straight up above me. The tool over beside that to the right is actually the crimping tool for the connectors, and then of course the tester's up above. But it has like a little stop gauge in there, I mean, for your cable. It has a couple different sizes cables, I mean, that you can put in there. And when you push down and you spin this thing around with your finger, it cuts it perfectly every time. It works great for me. I don't have any negatives about this at all. It's got 4.5-star rating. I'm going to leave you the link below. Click on it, read about it. I would tell you, yeah, it's going to cost you, 3 to 4 times more than these cheap throwaways. But if you're going to use it more than once or twice or a handful of times, I would consider this. This is what I bought. If you're going to use it a few times, one of the others may work for you perfectly fine for those intermittent jobs. We all shop at Harbor Freight. Everybody makes fun of the tools, saying that they're crap. But if I'm only going to use it a few times, I would go with one of the more expensive ones and just put up with the fact you're going to have to do some wire trimming, whether you're using a pocket knife, lineman's cutters, whatever, and it'll get you through it. Okay, it will. It'll get you through it. And you'll save money. But if you are going to be using them with repeatability, then you want something like these from Klein tools. That's my point. Okay, so I'm going to show you a couple of more pictures of this and make a couple more comments, and we'll wrap this up. Okay, so here we go. Now, the picture right here to my left is showing you where you insert the cable through this little plastic cutting device. Got a little stop block kind of a thing in there, depending on your cable size, a coax cable. And then you push down with that little black thing on the top, which gives it like a little, snug stopping, we'll say. Then with your finger in there, you spin this thing round and round like you see over here on my right. It will cut this cable in a 3-step fashion. We were talking about the other ones being the 2-step cutters, and you might need to do some cleanup with pocket knife or some kind of wire clippers or something. In this case, you don't have to do that. It will cut through the shielding, it'll cut through the wire, and it will expose, the little copper wire, and everything is perfectly done, and you're ready to slip one of those connectors on. Now, my biggest advice to you is if you're going to do this, use good connectors. But when you're done, you will have a professionally fit connector. Let me show you a picture of how you actually use the tool, to complete, the connector crimping. Okay, so I'm going to throw up a few pictures in random order to show you something about the Klein tools. After you've used the other tool and you've cut it, and you've cut through the shielding, and you're ready to put the connector on, you slip the connector on it, you put it into the back end of this tool like it shows here, and then when you push down with this crimping device, it then secures that connector onto the cable perfectly. There's no playing around with frayed wires or anything like that. It makes a perfect connection. And these are outstanding connectors. They're not just the cheap throwaways. Okay, so we come full circle. We'll come back around here to the advertisement. I'm going to leave you the link below. Like I said, I know it's quite a bit more money. You're going to use it more than a few times. Consider this one. It's performed great. Like I said, it's got great reviews. And like I said, there's nothing wrong with the Harbor Freight ones if it's just going to be a few times. That's a quick overview on cable splicing, especially coaxial cable. I would encourage you, if you do any kind of recabling at home, if you really want to improve your signal strength, my last tip is you want to go with QuadraShield, and you want to use good connectors, and you want a good professional tool that's capable of making those connections, without all the frayed wires hanging out like I saw. I went over, I did my neighbors, they were having, problems with reception and stuff like that. And I told them there's no guarantee that it's going to fix anything, but I had a bunch of QuadraShield left over, and I ran them a brand new coax cable of QuadraShield. It did cure their problem, but it's not a cure-all just by replacing the coaxial cable, but it gives you that much, a little bit better picture quality probably, depending on, the kind of TV that you have. Anyway, that's a different topic. Your question's confusing. Let me explain it to you this way. Does the wire and the connectors come in different sizes? Yes, there are different size coax connectors to fit different size coax cable. So, you need to get together with somebody to make sure you're buying the right connectors for the right cable. It isn't one thing fits all. Okay, is the crimping tool adjustable? Well, it's meant for F compression connectors. So in one way, no, it's not adjustable. This is what it's meant for, is like I said, the F compression connectors. Do you need to buy anything else besides what's in the kit? No, this is a complete kit, including the connectors. If I took the connectors out of it, these 3 tools here will allow you to perform the job perfectly, from testing signal strength to multiple lines, to crimping, and to, splicing and cutting through. And it does it perfectly. That's what I like about it. There's no cleanup needed, with frayed wires or anything. It makes a nice, perfect cut, ready to be slipped into the connector. Okay, so how do I know that they're any good other than, what I'm telling you? Well, take a look over here to the right. I just put up the customer reviews. 588 customer ratings, 80% in the 5, 11, and then 3. So you got 80, 90, 94% of these people feel it's a good value tool. It's good in accuracy, easy to use, and value for money. So, dollar for dollar, it's a damn good tool. It works great. But what do I think of the kit? I think buying the kit is a money saver over trying to buy all of these things individually. Okay, so let's wrap this up on the Klein tool, crimping tool here. So what are the pros? The pros on the crimper: it's compact, it's durable, it works well. What about the stripper? Well, it's compact, extremely simple, there's no adjustments, it's quick and effective, it's easy to use, it's very accurate. What about the tester? Well, the tester I don't have a lot of experience with, but it is simple and it's better than nothing. And it's included in the kit and it works perfectly fine. So I'm the Home Handyman. I hope you click subscribe. Keep following me. If you have a different experience, drop it in the comment below. And if you know something better, drop it in the comment below. I will leave in the description the Amazon link for you to click on. And go over, check it out, think about it if you're going to use it more than occasionally. And I want to thank everybody, and I'll see you on the next video. You folks have a great day. Bye-bye.